Hello, and welcome to the Jamf Education Update. This event marks the halfway point to JNUC, the tech industry's largest gathering of Apple admins. Education is in our DNA, and we are passionate about empowering teachers and enabling learning. We're excited to show you how Jamf can make schools, teachers, and students more successful with Apple. Our vision for education really comes down to three core principles: simplicity, scale, and security. First, we know that student and teacher technology is just one of the many things that IT admins have to juggle. So we've set out to make serving these users as simple as possible. Second, any solution we make for education must scale to meet your needs. Whether your school has just a couple carts filled with iPads or tens of thousands of devices. And finally, it's not enough to put technology into the hands of students and teachers. You must secure the device to ensure the devices and the student's learning experience remain safe at all times. We continue to improve and expand our education solutions so teachers and students realize their full potential. To tell you about how we're delivering simplicity, scale, and security for schools, please welcome Dr. Emily McRoberts-Froese.
Thanks, Sam. When schools select technology, it's about more than the cost of a screen. They need to select technology based upon the impact it can have in the classroom. This is important because not all screens create great learning outcomes. Our customers are looking beyond the web browser. They are exploring the best ways to leverage Apple technologies to enhance the learning experience. We designed Jamf School to go beyond traditional device management to meet the unique needs of schools. It includes powerful education integrations to deliver a personalized learning experience to the classroom at any scale. It offers a simple interface for IT admins to customize and configure devices for teachers and students. Jamf School also offers free end-user apps that make it easy for admins to empower teachers, students, and parents. Last fall, Jamf School achieved State Ramp Ready status, which is an important requirement for many US-based institutions. While this specific requirement may not be relevant to customers in other parts of the world, Jamf's pursuit for supporting more high compliance requirements is something that all customers will benefit from. At JNUC, we also announced that we would be bringing the highly requested app installers from Jamf Pro into Jamf School for all customers. We've done that, and the response has been incredibly positive. App Installers brings the simplicity of the Mac App Store to third-party applications, saving admins hours of time each week. With App Installers, admins select the Mac apps they want to deploy. Jamf automatically installs the app or makes it available on demand. Importantly, Jamf will deploy updates whenever they become available. Admins no longer need to spend time building packages or managing complex update workflows. Jamf App Installers in Jamf School automatically keep your apps up to date with the latest features and fixes available. Our pursuit for streamlining technology doesn't stop with admins. We know we can improve the classroom experience for teachers and students while also simplifying the at-home experience for parents. With the Jamf Teacher app, teachers can manage student access, safe list apps, send messages, and more. Educators can confidently tailor the classroom experience without relying upon IT requests or one-size-fits-all configurations. The Jamf Student app allows students to gain access to learning materials, install appropriate apps, request help, or message directly with their instructor. And finally, the Jamf Parent app gives parents and care providers device controls for their students' devices when they're at home. This allows them to keep their students focused on learning activities at the appropriate times. Deploying these free apps is the best way to impact the learning experience across every aspect of a student's day, from the classroom to home and back again. We are constantly enhancing these apps, including recent changes to streamline teacher workflows. We also made these apps more accessible for users with improved voiceover and resizable text support. Technology is a driving factor in nearly every industry. We believe it's important that a student's education journey includes technology where appropriate, even from an early age. Beyond the obvious benefits of enriching their learning, the exposure helps students learn to use technology responsibly. One way we love to showcase the positive impact Apple technology can have is through our partnership with Matter. We've previously highlighted how the Matter Innovation Hubs have delivered transformational learning experiences to remote locations across the world. Since partnering with Matter in 2017, the Innovation Hub has now expanded to 17 locations across 6 countries. In 2022, Jamf again partnered with Matter to create the Matter Career Readiness Institute in Zimbabwe. This program serves as the next step for graduates of the Innovation Hub. Now in its 3rd year, the program has 18 students and 2 graduates who are now working remotely at Jamf in software engineering roles. We are incredibly proud of the impact these programs are having on the next generation. It serves as a great example of how Jamf unlocks the potential for Apple in education. But don't just take our word for it. I'm excited to invite one of our customers to join us today to talk a bit about the success they are having with Jamf and Apple. Hello, Antoinette. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you do and the deployment you support?
Absolutely. So I am the technology integration specialist here at Second Baptist, and I have the privilege of supporting teachers in pre-K 3 through 12th grade by helping them implement technology into their curriculum. And then I also manage and deploy the 900 iPads that we have here on campus. And it's a lot of fun. We are an Apple Distinguished School, and so we have all the latest and greatest toys to work with.
Awesome. Since you mentioned it, can you explain what an Apple Distinguished School is?
So we have been an Apple Distinguished School since 2012. We are the oldest one here in Houston. And for us, it means that we are consistently innovating in our classrooms with technology. And so a few examples of that is we have drones in our entrepreneurship class in our upper school. We do learning walks in our lower school. And then we do lots of coding and robotics and things like that in our middle school. But it's beyond that even. For us, it is using our devices. So we are a 1-to-1 starting in kindergarten, and they have iPads through 7th grade. Then in 8th grade, they have computers through 12th grade. And for us, it's just solely using those devices to creatively showcase what the students are learning in the classroom.
That's a great way to explain it. Can you tell us a little bit about how you chose Jamf School to manage your deployment?
We chose it because it was so user-friendly. For a long time here at Second, we used Jamf Pro, and when Jamf School came out, I jumped on that trial to test it out, and I realized within a day that it was something that would definitely meet the needs that we had here. I previously in Jamf Pro would spend a lot of time coding and scripting and trying to get the minutia that's needed for the devices in the classroom. But with Jamf School, it's so user-friendly that I can put all the apps in Jamf School in teacher and in student, and I can deploy out apps per profile, per grade level, which is a really big plus for us because certain grade levels only use certain apps. And so being able to profile those out into those grade levels helps in the classroom a lot. And it really gave me my time back because now I have time to be in the classroom supporting the teachers, which is something that I do on a regular basis, and I don't have to worry so much about the devices anymore.
Do you feel like you take a different approach than other IT teams when working with your school?
Absolutely. I am a former educator. I spent several years in the classroom, and because of that, I definitely look at what we do with our technology differently. I have great empathy for our teachers in what they are trying to do every day with their curriculum, and I want to support that. And being able to have the devices be set up the way they need them to be set up so that learning is taking place and that the technology is not the stressor in the room is one of my main goals. And as a former educator, that's where my mind is every time I set up those devices. and being able to be there for the teachers and support them is the goal. And Jamf School allows me to do that.
Such an amazing story. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
It's amazing to hear how Second Baptist School has embraced Apple devices because they transform and enhance the learning experience. We see many other schools rapidly joining them on this journey. 4 years ago, the pandemic initiated and accelerated digital transformation for schools around the world. What started as an emergency response has now become the new normal. But with one major difference: most students are back in the classroom. That means the purpose for these devices 4 years ago is not the same purpose schools are pursuing today. Regardless, every single school has learned something new from the last several years. New skills in teaching with technology, new feedback loops, and new learning experiences. Today, some schools are refreshing devices within their existing deployment strategy. Others are rethinking the role of technology and relaunching entirely new programs. In either case, every school is likely asking the same question: how does any plan I make today scale to meet the long-term learning objectives? At Jamf, we believe that simplicity and scale go hand in hand, which is why we've worked hard to ensure Jamf School can support the deployments of any size. I'd like to invite Håvard and Olav from the city of Oslo to tell you their story of using Jamf School at scale. Hello, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Can you tell us your role at the city of Oslo and about your iPad deployment?
Sure.
I'm Håvard Eislott. I'm part of the team that manage iPads in the Oslo school.
Yeah, my name is Olav, and we both work at the central administration for the public schools in the municipality of Oslo, Norway. In Oslo, we support around 55,000 iPads across 120 schools, and we have students from primary school and all the way up to high school. And our goal is to deliver a technical solution that allows the school to spend as little time as possible on managing the iPads and as much time as possible on learning.
You've gone through quite a transformation over the last year. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey that led you to Jamf?
Sure. We regularly send out surveys to the ICT personnel out on the schools to understand their experience with the technology. And last year, and the year before that, our iPad deployment was scoring very low. And it was maybe the thing that causing the most friction for our users. And we knew we had to do something different. And we did a pilot program with Jamf School for the iPads at 4 of our schools, and the results were very positive. It was actually an easy decision. Jamf School was the solution that met our demands. So after that, we planned and executed the migration of all of our devices over the next 2 months, about 20 schools per week. And after migrating to Jamf School, we sent out a new survey for the ICT personnel, and iPads are now ranking at the top of our scores. And it's also much easier for us to manage.
So do you manage those devices in one location, or does each location get to manage their own?
We have a bit of a hybrid approach. We have some mandatory profiles that are centrally distributed, and then each school can pick and choose from a pool of centrally made profiles made for each type of school. There is also some wiggle room at each school to add their own apps and settings that make sense for them and their students. This way of doing things is much better compared to what we had before, especially for the ICT folks at each school. Time saved on troubleshooting iPads can now be used elsewhere to streamline the digital school day. And this setup is a big plus for teachers too. Jamf Teacher has been a great success. It's hands down the best and most reliable tool for classroom management we found. And instead of being a distraction, Jamf Teacher enables teachers to make the iPad a fully focused learning tool.
I understand many countries in Europe, including Norway, are sensitive to the amount of screen time students are having. How are you addressing this through your deployment?
Yes, one of the major concerns expressed from both parents and the general public is that giving students iPads leads to an excessive amount of screen time. And this concern is perhaps more significant here in Norway because we allow the students to take the iPads home. So we have built a workflow that allows parents to verify their identity and then automatically gives login credentials for Jamf parent tied to their child until they reach the age of 13. So this has allowed us to offer Jamf parent to every school with students under that age and without introducing a manual or time-consuming workflow for the ICT personnel.
Awesome. Such a great use of Jamf Parent. Ovar, Olaf, thank you so much for taking time to educate us on what you're doing in the great city of Oslo.
Welcome.
These are such amazing stories of what Jamf School empowers organizations to achieve. Of course, with every step of progress comes a new set of challenges. As more technology is utilized in schools, the risks increase exponentially. That means we can't just focus on scaling, we must also secure these devices. I'm excited to share a few product updates that will help your school better secure your learning environment. Educators love that Mac and Jamf Connect allow them to seamlessly log in with their cloud identity credentials. For many schools, this results in a significant reduction in help desk tickets related to forgotten passwords. Jamf Connect also helps with managing local macOS account privileges. Ideally, admins would give all users standard privileges, except that some common tasks require admin privileges. Unfortunately, granting Mac users admin privileges exposes the school to a wider array of risks. I'm excited to tell you that Jamf Connect now provides a simple workflow to temporarily elevate local account privileges. IT can deploy standard privileges for all accounts and use Jamf Connect to temporarily grant admin privileges only when needed. Importantly, Jamf Connect will automatically revert the user to standard privileges without manual intervention from IT. Keeping those Macs safe from threats is also important. Jamf Protect defends Macs from malware and attacks that put your institutional data at risk. The brand new compliance dashboard makes it easy for admins to quickly synthesize a vast amount of information in a simple visual, including a new compliance baseline to easily monitor your Mac fleet's overall health. And we can't forget about the iPads you're putting in the hands of every student. These, perhaps more than any other piece of technology in your school, introduce some of the most challenging dynamics for protecting devices and students. It's critical to ensure that students remain safe while using technology for school, and that's exactly why we created Jamf Safe Internet. Jamf Safe Internet is purpose-built security for mobile devices in education. It provides comprehensive web content filtering and web threat protections for your entire fleet. We have even extended this security functionality across Chromebook and Windows devices to ensure students are protected online, regardless of the mix of devices used for learning. This cross-platform support means the Jamf Safe Internet can truly be your institution's single solution for all of your content filtering and web protection needs. Of course, we will always be Apple first and Apple best. We continue to be inspired by the unique technology that Apple creates to support safe and productive learning environments. On-device content filtering is a great example of this. Jamf Safe Internet implemented support for on-device content filtering last fall. While the experience for the end user is mostly unchanged, this privacy-preserving technology is a significant advancement compared to a traditional web proxy. Not only does on-device content filtering work more effectively, but it does so in a way that cannot violate students' privacy. Jamf Safe Internet maintains a privacy-first approach throughout all of its functionality. By default, full privacy of all users is protected, and reporting shows aggregated and anonymous data about your deployment. That being said, we have heard a lot of feedback from customers about one area where this anonymity can be at odds with keeping students and devices safe. We recently launched a new privacy control for Jamf Safe Internet reporting. By default, full privacy is enabled. However, if you're concerned about the presence of specific or trending issues within your deployment, you can now enable additional visibility. Admins with appropriate permissions will be able to toggle the privacy setting to display specific devices and usernames. Jamf Safe Internet is truly a best-in-class content filtering solution that works across your entire fleet of iPads, Chromebooks, and Windows devices. And thanks to new reporting enhancements, Jamf Safe Internet is now better than ever. There's never been a better time to replace your legacy content filtering solution with Jamf Safe Internet. And with that, I'd like to hand it back to Sam.
Thank you, Emily, and thank you to Antoinette, Håvard, and Olav. It's amazing to see and hear firsthand how Jamf is empowering schools with Apple technology. Today, we showed you how Jamf School gives IT a simple solution to bring powerful learning experiences to the classroom. We also shared how Jamf School is able to support deployments at scale, meeting the needs of a wide range of schools. We explored enhancements for better device security, including on-demand privilege elevation in Jamf Connect, streamlined compliance reporting in Jamf Protect, and new privacy controls for reporting in Jamf Safe Internet. We've got a lot more in store, and we can't wait to give you another update at JNUC. Speaking of JNUC, this year we'll be gathering with the best community in tech in Nashville, Tennessee, October 1st through the 3rd. Early registration is now open. There will be no better price than right now, so be sure to secure your spot today. Thanks to all of you for tuning into our update. We'll see you in Nashville.